Hello.
Then. Now.
Countdown to the queens.
Episode number 500.
Forever.
Looks like hell froze over.
Without any more further ado,
Together.
let's jump straight into the show. Hello, back to episode number 135 of the TEW IX Challenge Run. We're here for ECW on April 15th, 2025. It is the go-home show for WrestleMania 41 on the ECW end. And yeah, tonight we will kick off the show with the terms of... Or was it the terms of warfare? Yeah. As The Rock is in the house, Roman Reigns is in the house, Paul Heyman's in the house, and they're going to set up the terms of warfare for their tribal warfare for 4v4 at WrestleMania. Plus, we've got, what did we set up last week? Moose versus Sheamus, and what was the other singles match we set up last week? Oh, Champion versus Champion, Kathy Cool against Ruby Riott. And a whole lot more, so without any more further ado, let's jump straight into the show. If you smell... We kick off ECW with The Rock coming down to the ring. And he gets into the ring. You know, the crowd here in the Staples Center is chanting his name, Rocky, 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 Rocky. He gets the mic. He goes, "Finally." And Roman Reigns' music cuts him off before he can say anything else. And Roman gets into the ring with Paul Heyman by his side. And Roman has his own mic and he goes, "Los Angeles, California. Acknowledge me." And The Rock just glares a hole through him. And he goes, "Finally, The Rock has come back to shut your dumb ass up, Dwayne. Sit your ass down, okay? Because who on earth do you think you're talking to, boy? Not only am I the head of the table, not only am I the head chief, I'm your boss, and you can't go away disrespecting me like this." And Paul Heyman goes, "Actually, Dwayne, we can. You see, this here is from the TKO board of directors, and it officially says that as of this week, WrestleMania week, Roman Reigns and The Rock, your powers have been put on ice, so you don't have any authority over us for another 7 days, at least, Dwayne. The reason why this happens is because you, Dwayne, could find a way to outmaneuver us with your political power in this company. You could find a way to go behind our backs and pull some strings to make sure what happens at WrestleMania doesn't happen at WrestleMania. But the fact of the matter is, Dwayne, we are on an even playing field right now. And if you've got a problem with that, you can go hit up your old friend Ari and you can take it up with him. But now, as for WrestleMania 41, it has been made official. It will be tribal warfare, as my tribal chief and yours, Roman Reigns, the head of the table, will team up with his cousins Jimmy and Jey Uso and their brother, Roman's youngest cousin, Solo Sikoa, who have all been ostracized by The Rock and his bloodline, to take on The Rock and three Tongans, who he calls family. Now, this thing between The Rock and the bloodline and me and Paul Heyman and ECW goes back all the way to WrestleMania last year, when it was main event Jey Uso who became ECW World Champion. The Rock, for some reason, didn't like seeing Jey Uso as the World Champion, and he damn sure didn't like seeing his head of the table, his tribal chief, lose that championship to Jey Uso. So he made it his vow to kill the bloodline with his own bloodline. He made the call to Tamatonga, to Tongaloa, to Talatonga, these dangerous Tongans, sons of the King Haku, who The Rock ushered into our family on a blood oath. to try and kill not only our bloodline, but my show, ECW. And now, here we are, two heads of the family tree, divided by ideals, brought together by one truth, and that truth is that there can be only one head of the table. And 3 years ago, it was Roman Reigns who emerged victorious when you and Roman Reigns came out on top. So you, Dwayne, 3 years older, with an office job in your back pocket, no, you can't be Roman Reigns one-on-one 3 years later. So you called upon these Tongans to do the job for you. But that's fine, because we can take care of those too. Then Roman takes the mic. And he goes, "What's this really about, Dwayne, huh? What's this really about? Are you gonna tell him? Or do you want me to tell him?" And the Rock just looks at him confused. He goes, "Well, you see." "No, nothing? Okay, well, you see, ladies and gentlemen of Staples Center in Los Angeles, California, our good pal Dwayne here, he's got himself fingers in a lot of pies around the world. One of them is being part of the board of WWE. One of them is being one of the highest paid actors in Hollywood. But Dwayne, you're wearing yourself out a little too thin, aren't you, boy? 'Cause we know the secret's out to us. You want to run for president, don't you, Dwayne? You want to try and take over the entire country, not just WWE. Well, allow us to give you that out, because if you're going to try and take your matters outside of WWE, then we can banish you from this place. Because my term of warfare, Rock, is that if I win, you ain't ever touching this family ever again. This Ulafala stays around the neck of the real tribal chief until I say it goes anywhere else, until I find my successor. And you can go crawl to whatever political podium or office job or movie set you want to do, Dwayne, because you can't step in and take it away from us, because we run WWE for our family. Those are our terms, Rock. Your family loses at WrestleMania. Your chosen family loses at WrestleMania. Bloodline, it's over for you. You'll have to find new business to get your bold ass inserted into. And The Rock just laughs. He goes, "Is that supposed to intimidate me, boy? You're coming out here with your big words, trying to say that The Rock can't get involved in your business. This is above WWE. This is about blood. You see, blood? I used to think it meant everything in the world. I would always come out here and preach blood. Ohana. But Ohana, it ain't blood. It's your heart. And you, Roman, and those Usos and Solo, you may be blood, but you're not family to The Rock. You've besmirched The Rock's name. You tried to drag The Rock's family through the mud. And now you want to make sure The Rock never gets himself involved in family business again. Well, that's fine. Because The Rock knows his family's going to win at WrestleMania. And here we are, Roman Reigns. Within the ear of my voice, you can hear my proposal too. At WrestleMania, The Rock and 3 badass Tongans are going to storm down that ring. We're going to whip your asses all the way across Las Vegas and Allegiant Stadium. And at the end of the day, at the end of the night, The Rock's going to pick your candy ass up, drop you with a rock bottom, and maybe even hit your people's elbow too. And he's gonna pin your ass looking up at the lights. 1, 2, 3. And at that moment, Roman Reigns, not only will you have been defeated at WrestleMania, but everything you've worked for will go up in flames. Because after I beat you at WrestleMania, you hand that Ulafala to The Rock. You place the Ulafala around The Rock's neck. You acknowledge The Rock as the tribal chief. And you, Jimmy, Jay, and Solo, you can get your ass out of my company. And then I can take on whatever roles I want to take on. If I want to be the head of the board, I'll do that. If The Rock wants to continue being the highest grossing movie star of all time, he'll damn well do that too. And if The Rock wants to be the president of the United States, I bet he could do that too. But we're gonna find out, boy. What is Roman Reigns, if not the tribal chief? And he offers a handshake out to Roman. Roman accepts it. And yeah, those are the terms. If Roman's bloodline wins, The Rock, he can't get involved in family business anymore. But if The Rock's bloodline wins, The Rock is given the Ulafala, and Roman Reigns and co are gone from WWE. We then see The Rock storm to the back, and his team, the Tongans and Ava, are waiting there for him. He goes, "Come on, boys, we made those terms. We're gonna go whoop some candy asses at WrestleMania. Come on, we're driving The Rock's bus. We're getting prepared for WrestleMania. Let's go, let's leave this candy ass piece of crap show behind." And Warden's there, he's with his championship. He goes, "And you, my champion, I need you to put that rabid canine Jacob Fatu in his place tonight. He's walking around here with one eye, 'cause you put his ass through glass. We want WrestleMania to be a cakewalk. We don't want him getting championship gold. Prove that The Rock's investment in you was right, boy. Or else next week when The Rock is running this whole place as the head of the table, as the tribal chief, there's going to be hell to pay." And they will storm off, and Warden, takes it all on board. He's locked in. 77. I'll take that. It's a Moose match. Like, what's a Moose match doing scoring a 77? But yeah, Sheamus and Moose. Sheamus. That's the team Moose wanted. He thought Sheamus was a follower of the Messiah because of the cross he wears around his neck. But Sheamus says, "What the fuck you want about, fella?" And Moose picks up the win via some shenanigans, because that damn apostle, Apollo Crews, steals Sheamus' necklace on ringside and, smashes it in Sheamus' face while the referee's not looking, allowing Moose to pick up Sheamus and hit the game breaker to pick up the win. 66 for Moose, 74 for Sheamus. And then after the match, the Apostle Apollo hands the cross to Moose. He holds it up high, and he, jams it in Sheamus' eye. A lot of eye-based injuries here on ECW, but he picks up Sheamus' cross, he rams it into his eye, and, he's trying to force him to believe in the Messiah, but, Sheamus has to get his eye checked out by doctors, and they help him to the back. We then cut to a pre-tape from earlier on today. It's Kelsey Cook approaching the House of Black in their spooky area, and she's a little bit shaken up. And Lester goes, "So what happened last week?" She goes, "I tried to get the one up on the Wyatts, but they caught me." And Alistair goes, "Okay, well, what makes them tick? What were they up to? What do they do with you?" She goes, I don't really want to say, but tonight I'm gonna get revenge on Hannah Coleman. I'm gonna do it for the house, and then at WrestleMania, you could finish the job. We then get that match, Hannah Coleman versus Kelsey Cook. It's a 74 whiplash neck strain, okay? She can work through that. It's fine. She's just in the Battle Royal at WrestleMania regardless, so yeah. But yes, Hannah Coleman does pick up the victory. It says she used a handful of tights. That's not true. It's because I picked a tainted win because, like, again, Hannah is, like, working over Kelsey, and when Kelsey's about to get the upper hand, you know, she sort of, like, freezes, and that allows, you know, Hannah to take advantage and pin her. 72 for Hannah, 75 for Kelsey. And after the match, you know, Kelsey's trying to get to her feet. Hannah Coleman sort of stares at her. And Kelsey is still sort of entranced by the whole ordeal when eventually she just smiles and the House of Black storm the ring. The White Seven storm the ring. And another big brawl ensues. But the House of Black are the ones standing tall. You know, Uncle Howdy gets shot with a black mass. Brody King wipes Eric Rowan out, puts him through the barricade. And Ciampa takes care of Kip Sabian and Preston Vance. Susie's just there watching on with her head in her hands. And Kelsey drops Hannah Coleman. And the House of Black are the ones standing tall over the Wyatts. They got one over on the Wyatts. You know, last week, Hannah got in Kelsey's head, but Kelsey played her like a fiddle tonight. Which, I mean, involved losing a match, but I guess when you're spooky, what matters more than wins and losses is, you know, mind games. We then cut backstage. Joe Hendry, he's talking about the Under the Dome Memorial Battle Royal. He goes, you know, back in my day, I had myself a giant of my own, and these days I'm flying without a giant. But that may only be the case for so long, because at WrestleMania, I'm gonna get my hands on a shiny new giant, Andre the Giant. And when I bring Andre the Giant back to Scotland, I'm bringing with me a World Championship opportunity. So Warden or Jacob, you better watch out, because the local hero is bringing that championship and Andre the Giant home. And then Austin Theory sort of walks in, he goes, okay, so I hear what you're saying here, Hendry, but that championship match ain't coming over for you, it's coming over for me, for Austin Theory. The reason why there's a championship opportunity on the line in this Battle Royal is because of me. Okay? And you think I'm going to let it slip? Not a chance. So, at WrestleMania, Andre the Giant Battle Royal winner, Austin Theory. And then he turns around and he goes, we'll see. We'll see then, won't we, Austin? And then got a hype video for Adam Cole versus Dolph Ziggler. I don't think we've done the singles match. And, you know, what better time to do it than the go-home show? And yes, you know, the Paragon Law is gone over in this video package. And Adam Cole and Dolph Ziggler one-on-one coming up next. Guess at 90. We'll take that. So the finish. I imagine we get probably at least one ad break, definitely. So, like, at the start of the first advert break, Kevin Owens sort of just, he strolls through the crowd with a bucket of popcorn, you know, sharing it with fans because he's the people's champion, and, you know, takes a seat in the crowd watching the match, eating popcorn as we go to ads. And we come back, you know, Dolph Ziggler is on the offense, Cesaro's at ringside with Dolph, of course, because of Paragon shit. Cesaro's getting, you know, mouthy with the referee, and Kev throws popcorn in his face as he does, and he jumps the barricade, he takes the fight to Cesaro. Dolph Ziggler sort of sees this, but he's like, do I want to go and help Cesaro, or do I want to win the match? And he decides to stay wrestling and letting Cesaro and Owens fight, which ends with Kevin Owens delivering the apron powerbomb to Cesaro, which sort of catches Dolph Ziggler's attention, but he then turns around, super kick, last shot, and Adam Cole pins Dolph Ziggler. Baby. 84 for Cole, 76 for Dolph Ziggler. And, you know, Kevin Owens leaves through the crowd after he powerbombs Cesaro on the apron. Medics check on Cesaro. And Dolph Ziggler, he sort of just looks annoyed that he's lost the match, not annoyed that Cesaro has taken an apron powerbomb. But then we cut to ads, we come back, and we see Cesaro, you know, JC and the Fritz brothers are with him in the medical room. And you go, is he okay? Is he good? Is he good? And Cesaro says, my back, it hurts. And they're like, is he going to be able to make WrestleMania? And they're like, he should make WrestleMania, you know, we just need to, you know, leave him in here, check on him, and hopefully he'll be good to go for WrestleMania. And then JC goes, come on, you know, let's go and have a word with Dolph. And then they all storm off. And we linger on Cesaro in the medical room when the camera pans across to a medical chair next to Cesaro's. And they're checking on Sheamus' eye in it. And Cesaro sort of just looks across at Sheamus. Sheamus will look back across at him. He sort of just nods his head. He goes, "Look at us, fella. You can't trust anyone these days around here, huh?" And Cesaro's like, "Huh? Guess not." They cut to the ring. Karrion Kross is in the ring. And he's got a mic. He goes, "Hey, we are days away from WrestleMania 41 and there's nothing on the card for me to do. And I know exactly why that is, huh? You're all terrified of me. You're all scared of the doom and the devastation I'd bring to WrestleMania if you let me on the show. So you're not going to let a dangerous man like myself do anything on the show because I guess I'm not allowed on Netflix. Well, guess what? I'm the most dangerous man. Not Jacob Fatu, not anybody else." And that, of course, summons Jacob Fatu. He storms to the ring. He wipes out Karrion Kross with a pop-up Samoan drop. Karrion rolls to the outside of the ring. Jacob picks the mic and he goes, "Warden, I saw your asses back there tonight. Bring your ass out here right now. And I say we don't even wait till WrestleMania. Yeah, that I mean." And Warden storms out. Security's all around him because, there's been a lot of fighting tonight. And they're like, we don't want any more of this. Just fuck off. When you've brawled around the arena enough. And Jacob sort of like calling him a coward. He's got security behind him. And of course, Warden doesn't like that. He charges into the ring. And as he gets into the ring, Jacob catches him with a big kick. And Warden, he goes to powerbomb Jacob Fatu. Jacob tosses him over his shoulder. Picks him up. Delivers a big Samoan drop. And he nails the big double jump suplex, moonsault on him. He hits another one. He hits a third one. And he just poses with the championship, does the big Jacob Fatu wiggle. And tosses the belt down onto Warden. And yeah, Jacob Fatu called out Warden. He got his fight. And more importantly, Warden didn't do what The Rock said tonight. Speaking of The Rock, it then cuts to Jimmy, Jay, and Solo backstage. And Jay goes, "Days away, Uce. I can't believe this whole thing is because Dwayne The Rock Johnson is angry at Main Event Jey Uso. Main Event Jey Uso become an ECW champion last year. Got that boy hot, Uce. He can't let it out. I live in his head rent free. He's ready to blow up our entire family just to get back at me, Uce. Well, look at what he's done. I actually have to thank Dwayne for his obsession over me. Because now, me and both my brothers stand united once again. Tribal warfare just around the corner. Dwayne and those Tongans, your ass is crass. Yeet." And then Jimmy gets speaking and he goes, "Last year, Jay was seen as many as the top Uso. A lot of people wondering what was next for Big Jim, what was next for Big Bruh. I was always proud of my brother. I just let hatred blind me. And was that hatred because of him, or was it because of you, Rock? Or was it because of Roman? I don't know at this point anymore, but what I do know is that this family will continue. And now you got our jobs on the line, Oos. Prepare to get your ass put down with a 1D courtesy of the greatest tag team of all time. No Yeet." And Solo steps up. And he goes, "Rock, I believed in you. I believed in your vision. I bought into what you were selling. But I see now what you were trying to do is put The Rock on top and the family on bottom. Time heals old wounds. And now me and my brothers stand side by side again for one courtesy, one common goal. And that's to whip your ass, Rock. You've unleashed Usos and Solo together. And I ain't never seen nothing like that before. WrestleMania, I'm gonna show the world why they call me the Street Champion. 93 rated main event. Kathy Cool and Ruby Riott, champion versus champion. It is Ruby who picks up the win. And, yeah. Imagine Naomi gets involved here. You know, she comes out ringside during the match. Kathy spots her, you know, punches her in the face, gets back into the ring. Ruby hits the Riott kick and pins her. 1, 2, 3. 68 for Kathy Cool, 94 for Ruby. So that's a really good, I don't want to say carry job, because Kathy's scoring 68, which is good for where she is. But, yeah, Ruby, you know, helped her out a lot here tonight. But, yeah, after the match, you know, Kathy's trying to chase after Naomi. Naomi's running away. She, like, hides behind Shantae. And Kathy doesn't really want to fight Shantae, even though they're going to fight at WrestleMania. She's got nothing against her. She just doesn't like Naomi. And, yeah, they sort of fight off. And then in the ring, Florence and Blair Davenport first gets the jump on Ruby Riott, because, you know, Ruby didn't get involved in the fight last week. She sort of just watched it on from a distance. Florence, of course, her music hits. She storms out with a weapon of some sort. She starts brawling with both women. We get the shot of all the women brawling around ringside, you know, security trying to break it all up. And another big brawl to close ECW. There's a lot of brawling tonight, but we're at the end. That is the go-home show. Which one of these 3 women will be the ECW Women's Champion coming out of WrestleMania? We just have days to find out. 92, good show, yeah. Wrapped up a lot of things nicely. Like, there were some things that I was ready to, you know, bring to an end. But I know I had the Terms of Warfare segment, and I had a couple of other segments with the Paragon stuff, and the... what was the other one? Whatever. It doesn't really matter. Oh, the Wyatt stuff, yeah. But yeah, so as well, those what you thought of the show. Do not leave one in the comments below. ECW finished. Raw finished. There's only one show left, and that is SmackDown. And then we're finally at WrestleMania. So hopefully, I'll see you then.